What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We had a crazy day in the market. The NASDAQ broke all-time highs, and GameStop is just being crazy. So this stock went from about $3.77 to $159.18 in a couple months. This stock is crazy. It's just a huge short squeeze going on right now. There's so much volatility. We can see that the IV on this stock right now is about 340%. In this video, we're going to cover everything that happened in the market today, the news to watch out for the rest of the trading week, and a $44 million options trade that expires this week. If you guys are new here, make sure you stick around to the end for that trade. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, Tom, let's get right into today's video.
Yeah, this is actually pretty unheard of with GameStop. The last time I've seen this was with Top Ships a few years ago, and all the shippers like TOPS, whenever they absolutely went ballistic, just like GME did today, running all the way from 97 to 159, and then pulling all the way back to $76 at close, and now they're sitting at $78, and the shorts definitely got squeezed early in the morning, and you can see that people really started taking profits once this really ran and pretty much doubled all the way up to $160. And then started coming all the way back down. It was just an amazing move, and this stuff doesn't happen all the time, and it was just really cool to watch.
For sure. So, Tom, what are you thinking for this stock? I know there's a ton of different opinions. Some people were saying on Friday that this stock is going to crash back down to 40. Other people are saying this stock's going to go to 400. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually thinking that it might try to trade between a range. I think it might honestly start to go kind of sideways between $60 and $100. And I think it might start to move between that range and then just kind of go sideways until it picks a solid direction. And I'm not sure it's going to be able to hold up this high forever. I would honestly think it would come back down more towards $60 or $40 rather than stay all the way up here. But it could stay up here for a little while. But I think that in the longer term, it will start to pull back down a little bit.
For sure. Like it's such a tricky situation because there aren't that many shares available. You know, there's a low float with this stock and there's so many buyers. But at the same time, this stock went from basically $4 to $160 in a couple months. So this stock is just going insane, right? So I kind of agree with you. I think it's going to pull back a little bit and then just kind of trade in a range. You know, I'm not one of those guys that are going to say it's going to go to $200 or $300 by the end of the week. It might, but I don't think it will. I know there's so much hype behind it and it's definitely possible, but I'm definitely taking the stance that I think it's going to maybe pull back a little bit and consolidate. But with that being said, what else happened in the market today?
Yeah, and I mean, going off of GME, we could actually say that there's a few other stocks going up right now, like RKT is up 15%, NOK is up 15%, and then we have AMC, which is up 25%. And a lot of people from like Wall Street Bets and these different forums are I think they're starting to get out of GameStop and starting to get into these other stocks that they think are going to run now, like GameStop. So some people might be able to get a good play in on AMC if AMC starts to go up, or on NOK if Nokia starts to go up, or on RKT if RKT starts to go up. And all these stocks have the potential to keep going up. I would say that NOK and then what was the other one, Mike?
AMC.
Yeah, AMC. Yeah, that's the big one. This is the movie theater that everyone's getting into now. And I think that this one could also go up pretty significantly. I think AMC and NOK have the most potential, and then RKT is kind of like in third place in my opinion.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've actually been hearing a lot of hype from AMC too. I know there's a lot of people buying in, but I still can't believe GME. I mean, this stock was just going crazy. Like I saw some posts online where people were turning like $600 into like 50 grand and just some crazy trades with GME. I'm sure there's trades even bigger than that, but I mean, it's just crazy movement, and it goes to show how much like when a stock runs up with a lot of momentum, and when there's a low float, it has so much potential. Like especially when there's so much hype and so many buyers behind it. So I mean, yeah, that's crazy. But what's going on with the overall market?
Yeah, the overall market was actually pretty crazy today as well, and it was actually very volatile. To start off the day, a lot of people saw the SPY really crash down and pretty hard and pretty quickly, all the way down to 379, and then it recovered all the way back up and then kind of formed a shoulder up here around 384.75 or 385, which is a pretty good level in the past. That's been a pretty good resistance level, but it's just looking like the SPY just had this kind of bounce down and then just got bought right back up all throughout the day. And it looks like we might actually break all-time highs again tomorrow if we can break above 385.30.
Yeah, I'm excited for this week with all these earnings, but we're having a pretty volatile start. Like we broke all-time highs on the Nasdaq, and then like you said, we kind of crashed down and came all the way back up. So, we have quite an interesting start for the week, but what are some of the earnings plays for tomorrow?
Yeah, there's actually some pretty good ones. Let me go ahead and pull them up here. Tomorrow before open, we're going to see Johnson and Johnson, GE, 3M, Lockheed Martin, and Verizon, and those are some pretty big companies, as well as American Express and Raytheon Technologies. Those are some pretty large companies, especially Johnson and Johnson, 3M, and Lockheed. Those are awesome. Verizon's a 5G stock, so that could give an outlook on like AT&T and T-Mobile with their earnings as well. There's a lot of big earnings this week that are going to show what a lot of other companies are going to do as well in the future. I think that that's going to be the big thing to watch is like Johnson and Johnson for some of these vaccine stocks, and then 3M for more of like the shipping and receiving stocks, and then Lockheed Martin for the
Defense.
stocks kind of like Boeing that build aircraft for the government and etc.
Good stuff. All right. Well, let's get right into our member of the day. Today's member of the day is ICO Pro 23. So we have to give this person a shout out. He made some great analysis, great trades in the Discord for the past week or two. Great job analyzing NOK. Thank you, ICO Pro 23, for the great trades and for helping other members. Keep it up. But with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have Gilead to the upside.
Yep, with GILD, go ahead and make them move above 68.30.
Sounds good. And with the next one, we have MOMO also to the upside.
Yeah, let's hope MOMO can keep up the momentum and maybe pass above 1680 to the upside.
With the next one, we have RKT.
RKT, make them break the high above 24, and I think that's going to be a pretty big resistance.
Awesome. So what are you thinking about RKT? I know it was kind of doing nothing for the past couple months, but with a day like today up almost 16%, I know there's a lot of hype around it. What are you seeing for the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it was really bouncing down by that support around $19 to $20, and I'm in around $20 a share. I picked up 100 shares pretty low here just to ride the wave. I thought it would go up in the long term, and it's nice to see it actually pop today, up 15%, but it is hitting that $24 resistance that we hit in the past, and I think that's going to be a pretty big level, at least in the short term. If we can break above that, I think the stock has potential to possibly hit 26 tomorrow, but I think that 24 is going to be a pretty hard level to go ahead and break tomorrow on this.
Good stuff. Well, let's get right into that $44 million options trade for this week. We are looking at the Apple 145 strike calls that expired this Friday, January 29th. So I'll tell you, I really think they're shorting these calls. Earnings are in a couple days. It hit 145 today and came right back down. Looking at Apple, it reminds me so much of what bank stocks did, a week or two ago. They ran up before earnings, posted good earnings, and then they fell. And I really think we're going to see something like that with these tech stocks. I can be wrong, but it just looks like such a similar setup. But overall, I would definitely think that they are shorting these calls, and it's probably a covered call. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that they could be as well. And 145 is a little bit far away. The thing is, it is bouncing up in after hours, so it looks like it might hit 145 tomorrow and possibly retest that and then come back down. I think it depends a lot on also these other tech earnings and stuff. If we start to see Apple do good on earnings or some of these other tech stocks do good on earnings, then this stock will actually pop, I think. But just like you said, it is going to expire on the 29th, so that's good for them at least. They have a few days for it to work out, so hopefully it can stay below 145.
Good stuff. Well, let's get right into the comments from the previous episode. With the first comment, we have Claire asking about IPOE. So this stock went from about $10 to about $20 in, about a month or two. It's trending up nicely. It had a huge green day on January 7th, and it's just been kind of consolidating for the past week or so. What are you seeing here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it actually starting to look like it might start to come back to the downside. And on an intraday, just technical level, it looks like it bounced off of that $20 support, and it looks like it wants to go ahead and break that. So I think if it breaks that, watch for the $18 support next. But man, it just looks like a very volatile stock. I personally wouldn't play it with the movement that it has right now. But man, this is a very volatile, and to me, it just looks like it might start to fall back.
Good stuff. So with the next question, we have Vicky asking about ZNGA and then BB. So with the first one, we'll take a look at ZNGA. I know they have to do with like video game development and things like that. I don't love their long-term chart. It's not bad. It's just not a play for me. It's sitting around $10 right now. It broke recent highs of around $10 and you could say 50 cents. Their all-time high is around 16. Overall, it's trending up nicely. It's getting pretty close to their IPO price back in 2012, or 2011, I should say. But overall, it looks okay. It's not a setup I love. It's just not a setup for me. But overall, they're trending up pretty nicely. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks like they're trending up pretty nicely. And I know whenever I was younger, I used to actually play the some poker game that this company actually had on Facebook, and I knew that was pretty fun. But I think that a lot of these online gaming companies are just doing very well this year. So just keep in mind that they're due for a lot of growth. So this stock could continue to grow over the next couple of years. But like you said, it's up so much over the past couple of years. It was at $4 a share at the beginning of 2019, and now we're at $10. So it's over doubled, and I think that that's just a good thing for the stock. But at the same time, we could be due for a pullback here.
Good stuff. And then the next one was BB. So this is one of those hype stocks that just exploded in the past couple weeks. I like it for short-term trading. I definitely don't like it for a long-term investment. But that's just me. I like more safer things. That does not mean it's a bad long-term investment. But personally, if I were to play this, I would just play it for short-term trading. It has amazing opportunity for trading. Like we could see that it's up about 28% today. Had some movement to the upside and the downside. If we look at like intraday charts, there's a lot of great movement, which can be awesome for intraday trading. So I think the best way to play this is just like quick little scalps or day trades. What do you think?
Yeah, and it's just like Nokia. Both of these companies were phone stocks that are actually have been going downhill over the past few years, and both of their stock prices pretty much crashed over the past like 5 to 10 years. And it just looks like that right now that hype is just getting into them. For example, BlackBerry and Nokia are pretty similar. Nokia is running up here in after hours, and I just think that they might go up like in not completely in synchronous, but I think that for example, if Nokia goes up 15%, BlackBerry is going to follow in some sort of fashion here.
With the next question, we have Emmanuel saying, "Hey, Mike and Tom, thank you for another amazing video. I love listening to the show in my car. What are your thoughts on JMIA breaking all-time highs? What's the short-term and long-term look?" So I really like this stock for the long term. Overall, for the short term, though, I'm not a huge fan. They have some nice run ups like we've seen for the past couple days, but then they tend to pull back for a couple days to a couple weeks. So I like them for the long term. They did run from about $2 to 60 in the past year. I can definitely see them pulling back, though. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I really like it actually for the long term. It's like the Amazon of Africa. And I just think that there's a lot of growth actually in Africa. Like, Africa, and they're kind of like a third world country and stuff. And there's actually a lot of growth there. And I think that this stock in general could do very well, especially since it's like an Amazon, which obviously can do very well and generate a lot of cash flow, especially in almost like a stay at home society like we're almost in right now.
With the next question, we have Juan asking about analysis on MP. So I do like this stock for the long term. They deal with rare earth elements, and especially with all of the hype and the growth in the EV sector, I really like this stock for the long term. For the short term, they're kind of consolidating. They bounce off that 30 level support, you could say, which I do like that. For the short term, I'm more neutral than anything, but for the long term, I'm pretty bullish.
Yeah, I think in the short term, it actually looks pretty good. And then in the long term, that's actually pretty interesting that they deal in rare earth materials. And I think that as we start making more batteries and we just need more and more of those materials, obviously this company will do better and better. And I think it actually will be a pretty good pickup if we might start to see a pullback. And if it pulls back to like $25, I might really start looking at picking up some shares on it.
For sure. And with the next question, we have Roro asking what we think of the ARK ETF. So ARKK. Obviously, ARK has done amazing this past year, especially with everything going on with the virus and all that. This ETF went from about $33 to, as of today, $149.85. Overall, they've done an amazing job. I really like the management behind their ETFs. I think they're going to continue to do well for the long term. However, they're pretty invested into tech. So when you see tech pullbacks, ARK does tend to pull back a little bit more than, like, let's say the S&P 500. It just depends, like, what the market's doing at the time though. But overall, I like them for the long term.
Yeah, and I really like ARK as well. They're a very good company. And like you said, their management is very good. And I think that also their upcoming space stock, which is going to be ARKX, which is a space exploration ETF, I think that's going to do very well in the long term as well. And I'm not going to say it's going to have the same growth as ARKK has, but I do think that in the long term, it will have some pretty significant growth.
Awesome. Well, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
You know, actually, I'm going to be watching some of these riskier stocks like BB, NOK, GME, AMC. I'm going to be watching for these stocks to keep moving to the upside tomorrow. At least I'm going to look to try to catch one of them that is. AMC is moving up in after hours right now from $4.50 all the way up to $4.90 over the past few minutes, which is nice to see. Some of them just look like they're running like AMC and NOK. NOK is definitely running in after hours as well as AMC. So it's just very exciting with these. And I think that this is what most people are watching right now. And it really, if everybody hops back into one of these, it could be another big runner, just like GME. I'm not saying that they're going to go from $4 to $150 again, but I think that there could be some pretty good money to be made here.
I'm surprised you didn't mention your stock SPCE. It's up 5% today and had some crazy movement. What's going on there?
Yeah, I actually really like it. It's all the way up to 39, but it pulled all the way back to 32.50 and then came all the way back up to 36. So I didn't even know. I really liked that initial run up, but I didn't know what to think about it after I had that humongous swing and throughout the day. SPCE always has these big swings. And if we go to the daily chart, you can see how volatile some of these candles get. And as we near this $40 to $42 resistance, I think that we could just see volatile candles just like we have in the past. Anywhere between 30 and 50 to, or 30 and $40, you can see is just huge volatile candles. And I think that that could be the case here on this stock. So even if it goes up, it's going to be a very volatile, bumpy ride to the upside. So it might be better to place shares on this rather than try to get calls and hold them unless you're very good at getting the calls at the right time.
For sure. Well, thank you everyone for watching this video. As always, if you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. And if you want to trade the same options as Tom and I every single day, you can click the Stocked Up Options Alerts link in the description down below. We've had some pretty awesome plays for the past week or two with Microsoft, KO, ExxonMobil, and a couple other ones. If you guys want to learn more information, you can click the first link in the description down below. We're doing a quick $40 off sale. If you want to join, you can cancel at any time, and you have access to all of the bots we made. The first link in the description down below. And if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But with that being said, thanks for watching.